Are you ready to go offside? Because it's time for Offside Hockey Talk with your host, James Roberts, and myself, Doug Ireland.
There are few people in this world that make me feel as lazy as this guy does. There is The Rock, there is Kevin Hart. These guys, they get up in the morning and they go, and this gentleman is nothing short of the same cut of the jib. He is up and ready to rock and roll on the ice. He's also a firefighter and a paramedic and friend of the show. He is Kevin Porter. How are you doing today, Kevin?
I'm well. Yourself?
You know what? I cannot complain. I spent a lot of time watching your videos on Twitter and everything you do, and you know, it'd be fitting to call you a dream chaser. Do a lot of people end up calling you that?
Well, either that or a crazy guy. I don't know. You know, the reason for the videos, I mean, the social media, the littering of social media is, you know, I'm an old athlete, and it's tough to find a good agent to represent you and spend the time. So, you know, my goal, you know, behind the social media blitz, if you call it, you know, just to get my name out there and get some video out there and, you know, showcase your skill sets. And, you know, I think it's worked. I landed an East Coast Hockey League tryout last year with Rapid City Rush because of that. Some, you know, influential people saw it. And, you know, I just, my biggest concern, I guess, when I started to do it was, I mean, I don't want to look arrogant or pompous or anything like that. I just want to show, you know, showcase my skill set, and you know, your skill sets are always a work in progress. So, you know, and it's free, so you know, why not do it? So, and I've met a lot of really cool people in the sport as a result. So,
oh, for sure, you definitely have a cult following. I'll say that much. There's a lot of people that reach out to you, and a lot of people that I speak with, or even with teams that know you or know of you. So. And this, for me getting you on, has been, as we know, a while in the making. But I'm very excited to have you on because, just like I said, watching everything, watching the progression, everything you do, it makes me tired. And I consider myself a pretty high-energy guy, and my wife would attest to that I drive her bonkers. But having you around would probably be another level because just every day, like, and not to mention the fact that you are a paramedic, a firefighter, then you do this as well. It's just like, where do you have all the time to get this drive and this push and this energy? Like, how do you bring this all out of you every day?
Well, you know, as of right now, we don't have kids. So, you know, I'm kind of fortunate that way where a lot of guys my age, you know, they got, you know, 1, 2, 3 kids and all kinds of sporting activities in school. And, you know, my wife and I, we don't have kids yet. So I've been able to afford, you know, the time and also the money to invest into hockey and my training and all the other, you know, things that come along with that. So, yeah, and then my shift work too. Like a lot of the days, you'll see my videos. Most of the time, I'm coming off a night shift, my 24 at Fire. I train in the morning or in the early afternoon. That way, I've kind of, you know, got the rest of the day to hit the gym or, you know, do my hunting to-do list or whatever I have to do that day. You know, when I'm off, like right now I'm on my week off from the fire department, but I'm working, you know, I think I've got 4 days of paramedic shifts scheduled. So, you know what, it's like anything, right? When you're a pro athlete, you're on the road, you're busy, you're traveling, you're sleeping in hotels, you're eating different food. So I kind of look at my schedule and my lifestyle the way it is, and I think it kind of prepares me, you know, if I was to go play somewhere maybe next season, it kind of sets the tone for that already because I'm used to running on fumes. And, you know, I'll be honest with you, like even I played over in Sweden for a year and you do a 3-hour bus trip and you get off the bus, your legs are tired. You know, you play back-to-back games on a weekend, it's tiring. So, you know, I think it's a bit of a blessing, the schedule and the way I've got to kind of, you know, work around those things. No one cares if you're tired, so you just deal with it and you know, get the job done. So.
Well, definitely. I mean, no one does care. Obviously, in this world, if you're tired, all they want to see is people perform. And I'll keep going back to the fact, seeing you every day, you definitely do pick it up and you do perform. But being a firefighter and a paramedic, that has got to be mentally and physically demanding. Is hockey for you something like an escape, from the day to day? I ask because my brother-in-law, he's a paramedic himself, and sometimes you can see he definitely wears his job pretty heavy. So is this an outlet for you to kind of just put that aside and just clear your mind and just worry about the ice?
Yeah, absolutely. And the part of the reason why I got back into hockey was, when I was younger, my mom, she passed away when I was 16 in a construction accident. I lost my Nana 4 months before to cancer. That drove me to become a paramedic and a fire guy and a professional firefighter. And then, my hockey dreams, they got put on hold. So when I got old enough and I was able to kind of start focusing some more time and prep work with hockey, in 2010, I had a bit of an accident with my crew at a house fire, and we fell into a basement. And it really just made me think, just how short life is. And, it was kind of like that was kind of like the go switch, if you will. I'm like, you know what? I got to try to attain this because, I missed out on it dearly when I was young due to, X, Y, and Z factor, and I just can't let it pass again. So, yeah, it's been a huge, I've always been a motivated guy anyways, but I think that was kind of, the turning point was in 2010, I think, when I started to kind of get back into it, and it just kind of built on itself. You gain some traction, you get a tryout here, you get a couple games here, and, it just helped me gain some traction throughout the years, and I've progressed, and I've had a lot of fun with it, so that's enabled me to become a better athlete as well.
Well, that is a great reason for you picking up, being a firefighter and a paramedic, kind of in your mom and your grandmother's name. That is pretty awesome. Not a lot of people have the opportunity to kind of get into a field that would directly, be effective to something that happened to them. So that is pretty awesome in itself. And then just to hear what you just said about going to a call and then falling through to the basement, and basically just realizing that, hey, could be over in a snap of the fingers, and have I done everything I wanted to do? And like you said, kind of lit the fire for this. I always ask people in that kind of situation, because everybody goes through one, maybe not as crazy as falling through the floor and ending up in a basement in a fire, but everybody has that moment. When you had that moment, was it, okay, this is what I need to do, or was it a flood of things that you thought you wanted to do, or did your mind just instantly say, hey, I want to do this, and this is what my focus is going to be now?
Well, I think initially in the moment, you have anyone that's had some sort of, precarious moment at work, whether it's, a construction worker, a firefighter, police, paramedic, a nurse is attacked, in a hospital, like anybody at work. I'm just going on what I know, what's the closest to my heart. But anyone that has some sort of a situation like that, you could be in a car accident, a flood of things happen, your mind works very, very fast. But yeah, it wasn't until a couple days later I was like, man, I really, myself and my buddy, we could have bit it real hard, and that could have been that, right? And I just started to think, okay, like, there's more to life than just work. There's more to life than the fire department. There's more to life than the paramedic service. There's more to life than just hockey. But, it was always one of those things where I'm like, man, I got to try to make an impact for my sake, because I felt a huge void in my life. And yeah, maybe it was a bit of an awakening, if you will. And, it continues. Like I said, it's just, some things have worked out, some things have worked against me, but, I just try to maintain a positive attitude and, just take it day by day. So.
No, for sure. Well, to ask a bit of a fun question with this, for you, what gets the blood pumping more? Responding to a call, or blaring down the wing and sniping top cheese?
They're both really exciting. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of the times we get sent the calls at work, and it ends up being nothing. But sometimes you get those call details where you're like, yeah, it is something, and yeah, it's pretty exciting. The thing is, right, whether you're a professional firefighter, a nurse, a paramedic, a police officer, a hockey player, when you overreact to things and get too excited, you lose sight of what you're really supposed to be doing. So I've learned it just to become real calm. Some people might think I don't care at some point, but when you're just real calm, cool, and collected, you're able to focus on the task, right? So whether it's a face-off with 20 seconds to go and you got to win it, or you're a winger and you got to get, whether it's a set play at the end of the game, you're down a goal, or you run a cardiac arrest, or you're in a house fire, you've got to have your wits about you. So I think my careers have they've helped me with hockey a lot too, because I'm able to focus under pressure, and I'm able to kind of do those little minute things that maybe I wouldn't have been able to do as a youngster growing up, because you learn things over age and you get better. So I don't know.
Well, here's another thing for me. So basically, for yourself, you're saying that you put these videos out because finding an agent for someone at your age and getting yourself in front of the right people at times may be difficult. So who was the first one who said, hey, you should do these videos? Was it something that you brought on yourself, or was it something that someone suggested, hey, this may be the best way? We're now social media and YouTube and everything, there's easy ways to go viral, or even just get yourself out there for someone to catch a glimpse of you, and next thing you know, you're on replay on TSN because of some move you made. Was it someone who suggested it, or was it yourself who brought that to the forefront?
Well, you know what, I think I was representing Uptown Sports. They were helping me a couple years ago, Don Reynolds, and Don had said to me, he says, I'm having a hard time. They're looking at your age and your lack of elite prospect stats. And I said, yeah, I know. I'll just, I'm trying to do what I'm trying to do, and I'm trying to work with what I have and kind of build on some things. And it was myself. I just thought, I'm like, geez, like, if these guys can't help me, which, like, I understand I'm in a unique situation, and that's why, and I say sometimes on my postings, I'm looking to earn a tryout, right? Because I don't have the stats that, say, a young kid may have from playing in the OHL for 4 years, or CIS, or NCAA, or whatever. So I'm trying to kind of, earn a bit of a way through putting out my social media videos and showing, my diligence in training, how hard I work, things I'm able to do. It's just kind of like a free showcase. Like I said, I like to be pretty modest when I post, but I post quite often because social media is such a quick turnover nowadays. My feeling on it was like, well, if I just keep putting stuff out and producing, eventually something should work out. If you look at the numbers,
yep.
Analytics, I don't know, is that part of the analytics department now? Numbers. So, I'm like, if I put out X number of videos and most of them are pretty good, the odds are I'm probably going to get a sniff. And I did, and you know what? And it didn't work out that time, but I learned a ton. So, I built on that. Now, what is next for me? So, that's kind of why I chose to took that route.
No, it's one that, like I said, it definitely works, because I know people outside of basically what I do, and we watch your videos and we talk about them, because, like I said previous, I mean, what you do, it makes me look lazy and tired. I ask myself 9 times out of 10 through the day, am I doing enough? And like I said, I reference The Rock, I reference Kevin Hart and yourself as people that just have that overbearing, like, just go engine that not a lot of guys have. So I think you're doing the right things, and it is awesome to watch you. And anybody who chirps you on social media, I think, is an absolute dick. Like, seriously, none of them would get off the couch to bother to do what you're doing. And just like I said, watching you is inspirational every day, because you're someone who doesn't want to give up on what he's doing. And myself, I look at it for applying to what I do. I didn't start doing podcasts or anything of that nature until literally 3 years ago. I have no media training, no nothing. So to watch somebody kind of live out their dreams and just push as hard as he can, like I said, it's inspirational. When I say that to you, I 100% mean it, because there's lots of people out there that just don't even take the opportunity to take the chance. So to see you constantly doing it's pretty wicked.
Well, I really appreciate that. And, the thing, I guess I didn't really think too much, when I started to do it is getting called out on stuff and getting chirped. And yeah, it's happened. I mean, it's happened in all kinds of different facets. You know, I even watched some other guys' podcasts, and they were hammering me the one week. But you know what? Here's the thing, right? If I don't do it, it's never going to happen.
Yep.
Like for me,
Yep.
it will never, ever in a million years happen. You know, I kind of decided, I'm like, it won't happen if I don't do it, but it really won't happen if I don't put anything out there. So, you know, that's kind of how I got to look at it, and I try to take everything in stride, and I want to try to be a role model, you know, for anybody, for younger guys, for guys my age, for older athletes. You know, and just put it out there and saying you can accomplish these things. There's definitely a process. I mean, I could talk all night about things I've done to get better, different, you know, coaches I've trained with, and things I've done and things I'm still doing. So, yeah, it's just, you know, I guess part of it. You know, is it nice when people chirp you? No, I mean, not necessarily. I prefer. I mean, it takes as much energy to be positive to someone as it does to be negative.
That's the truth.
That's the way I look at things. You know, I mean, I'm too busy myself to be negative to other guys and girls trying to get better. I want to try to encourage them, and you know, slam, shit talk your opponents on the ice, but that's about it, right? You know,
but that's expected.
That's kind of where I draw the line with that, and you know, otherwise, just be a good person and try to help people out. So
that's it right there. Well, you were talking about different coaches you work with and different people you've been involved with through hockey. Who would be the coolest person who's either reached out and told you, you know, don't quit, don't give up, or even the coolest person you got to work with on the ice?
Cool. Well,
or just someone who's blowing your mind.
You know, it wouldn't be fair for me to name one person because they all offer different. You know what I mean? Like they all offer different things in their own unique way, and I mean, what I can learn from, you know, Coach A, Coach B does things different, but Coach C, like, man, I've worked with some amazing people. You know what? I'm going to name them all because I started out with Journey to Excel. That was the first Journey to Excel. Adrian Lamonaco, Vinny, they were the first two guys that I ever really trained with when I got back into hockey. You know, I haven't trained at Journey for a couple summers because of my work schedule and my wife's work schedule, and it works out better for me to train early in the morning. I skated with Jim Thompson, right? Jim Thompson used to play in the NHL for 10 years. He's become a really close friend of mine. I skate with Jim in the summer. Jim has offered me, I mean, I've learned things from him that I haven't learned from anyone else. I've done shooting with Tim Turk. Turkey is incredible at what Turkey does. I skated with, you know, my buddy Eddie Troy. Eddie comes out to help me. Eddie's shown me things that other guys might not have. And I've done some work with Darryl Belfry. You know, Darryl is, I mean, I don't even know what to say. He's awesome. I mean, he's one of my hockey idols. If I can learn half the stuff that Darryl knows and the way he teaches guys, I mean, I'll be happy, you know. So everybody, skating coaches, Vanessa Crone, you know, Vanessa's my skating coach. But I've done work with Barb and with Barb Underhill, and these people, they're so passionate, they're so into what they're doing. You can't help but get better. You just, I mean, if you can't get better with these instructors, then you're really not working or paying as close attention as you should, or you're not passionate enough. Because, yeah, I'm very grateful for any of the help, you know, that I've gotten, and I try to progress every day and just become a better athlete.
Well, it speaks volumes. I mean, the fact that you didn't want to name just one and you named everyone, you know, that you work with.
I think I named everybody.
But it speaks volumes of the fact of how thankful you are, right? I mean, anybody who's awarded an opportunity should always be thankful for the opportunity they've got. And again, we go back to, you know, just being a good person, a good role model. And, you know, that all goes into that same thing, that same mold, you know, and it helps build character. And also, he's saying that, you know, other guys who may get an opportunity may look at it a little differently. Like, hey, you know what, maybe I should make the most of this. You know, not everything's a given. Not everything can be handed me on a plate. Maybe I should skate a little harder, do this a little harder. You know, and watching your videos, maybe a few guys will be like, well, maybe I can pick it up, you know, to that level, because obviously I'm not. And I say again, you know, I look at it myself and say, okay, am I doing everything today to be at the level I need to be at? Not on the ice or anything like that, but just keeping myself going. You know, for you, you mean you've gone through, like you said, camps, and you've gone to different, and played in Sweden and stuff like that. Do you have a favorite team that you've been a part of, or even a favorite jersey or a favorite moment with one of those teams?
You know what? And again, like we chatted about the skills coaches. I probably couldn't name one, right? Like I had a certain experience in Sweden. You know, my first professional game I ever played was in the Federal Hockey League. And, you know, that was a great experience. You know, I played a couple games down there. And the thing is, I work full time, so it was always tough to kind of, you know, be able to get time off work to go compete and in that. But, you know, that was a memorable experience. I went over to Sweden for 5 months to play. And, you know, well, that was a memorable experience because now you're playing, you know, different style of game on a bigger ice surface with different players that have grown up learning different things, and now I'm learning all those cool things that they learned, and it was a really neat experience. You know, then I got invited to the East Coast Hockey League camp, and I had, you know, coaches from the Minnesota and Iowa Wild there, and Brent Sopel helping me out with, you know, for that time period in Rapid City, and those, you know, Dan Tetro and Nell Ferrara and their expertise. So amazing experience. Like, you know, hockey's a great sport, and I liken it a lot to the fire department, the team atmosphere, and even the ribbing to some extent. But yeah, I can't just name one. I try to have a great experience, you know, wherever I go, and like I said, to me it's the greatest game in the world, and I'm just grateful for any chance I get to play, practice, compete with, you know, teams, skills coaches. I just soak it all up and enjoy the moment.
Well, a question that I'll say for you. Some would say, you know, with all the knowledge that you've gained, everything that you've experienced, everything we just went over, you know, and everything that you're absorbing from all the great coaches and all the great players and people you've got to meet and experience things within this game, they would say, you know, wouldn't coaching be an option for you? Wouldn't that be something you'd be maybe suited to go into and be able to teach a lot of people all the things that you've learned and experienced and pass that on to younger guys who we spoke on already that may not have that same kind of drive, or, you know, may just be looking for that inspiration to click, and you may be that coach or that guy to do so. Is that something that is in your future when you hang up the skates, or is coaching not even on the burner for you?
You know what? I've thought about it. I'm not sure as of yet. You know, I still have this drive, the competitive drive in me, and you know, I can't really get it out of my system yet. So I'm going to see what I can keep doing, and this guy doesn't hit me. Sorry, I'm just in my car in a parking lot at Longo's. You know, maybe down the road. To be honest with you, I really like the individual skills aspect of the game. Like I said, I've been very fortunate to work with a lot of really cool people, really great mind, a lot of great hockey minds, and great people as well. And I really like that. I love having that interaction with a skills coach. So I really think I would enjoy, you know, giving that back to players and athletes. So that might be more of my thing. Coaching, we'll see. Coaching takes up a lot of your time as well. Coaching is it's a very time-consuming endeavor. I don't think people realize how much time it takes, and even skills coaching, right? But coaching a hockey club is a big commitment. So it would have to be at a time in my life things are a little bit more chill, maybe. And maybe once I've got this competitive playing thing out of my system, or my body tells me to go take a hike, but I think I'm still okay for a while.
Well, they always say a body in motion stays in motion, so I don't see you hanging up the skates anytime soon, but maybe, like you said, it'll be more of the one-on-one with people and basically just teaching them what you know while still being able to pursue your own dream and chase it down. But I will say, you know, don't ever give up on the videos, even if the you decide that you're done trying to go professional or anything like that. I would keep those videos going because, like I said, they're inspiration to a lot of people watching you do what you do. And again, like I said, it's an inspiration for someone who may have thought, well, you know what, I don't have the time, or I'm too old, or this or that, you know, to start anything, and they see you and it's like, okay, you know what, if this guy can work as hard as he can, there's no reason why I can't get into it and get done.
Yeah, well, it's, you know, I mean, it's also where I train as well. It's pretty inspiring for me, you know, like I've been fortunate to train at the Mastercard Center for the last, 6 years, and, you know, I'm in the Leafs rink, I'm in the Marlies pad, I'm on the Olympic pad. It's a great facility. Met a lot of great people through there, and, it's motivating. If you can't train hard there, Toronto's kind of the hockey mecca. I mean, maybe people out east in the state of Massachusetts would disagree at the moment, but Toronto's the hub, and if you can't train hard in that building, where can you train hard? It just gives me a ton of energy when I get there, and it's a very motivating place to be. So, love it.
Well, that's what gets me fired up watching you. I mean, you're on that ice there. I mean, like you said, if you can't get motivated skating on that ice where a lot of people's idols in the city skate on and practice and go through drills, and you're right on the same ice, hanging around the same atmosphere, getting the same vibes, the same feelings, it would give me chills to skate on that ice just to go laps, let alone be ripping shots and learning things and taking information in. Man, like I said, your videos, absolutely killer. And I really hope that you do catch on. And again, we can go through the story like last year and watch you go through camp and just watch everything day to day, because that was pretty wicked to watch. Just the stories you put out and just everything you put out into the world, man. It's all positive, good vibes. And I'm very glad that I got to finally have you on.
Yeah, I had a great time. And anytime just give me a buzz and send me a message, and we'll hook it up. So.
For sure. Well, again, Kevin, it was a long time coming, but thank you very much for stopping by Offside, and we'll talk to you again soon, my friend.
All right. Thanks a lot. Have a great night.
You too now.
Okay, take care.
Cheers. That was Kevin Porter. You will see him on Twitter. I will make sure to link his bio to this podcast so you can be able to see everything this man does. If you are not inspired by what he does on the ice and how hard he works, then you need to get some glasses, get your eyes checked, because that man works harder than most of us will for anything. So if you have a dream, do not stop, chase it. Make sure you figure out how to get it done. Like he said, he had that moment and he knew what he wanted to do. So never give up on what you like, guys. All right, we'll talk to you soon.